very own BYJU'S 9th and 10th grade channel. I'm your teacher Aishwarya, and in this particular video we are going to do a complete chapter revision of the chapter Resource and Development from Geography, which is the first chapter in your textbook. And of course we are going to wind today's class up with a 15-question Menti quiz that will complete your preparation and understanding from this particular chapter. So I hope that all of you here are excited for today's class, and I hope that all of you have your notebooks, your textbooks and your pencils ready with you to make sure that you mark all the important pointers I tell you throughout today's class. Now everybody, before I get started, I hope that my audio, my video and my screen and what I'm writing on the screen is visible to all of you. If it is, give me a quick thumbs up in the chat to let me know that we are good to go. Yes? Alright, I can see that a lot of you are here. Good evening, Ash, AB, Pratna, Shruti, Shyam, Suhas. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So today, of course, we are going to be focusing on two things, right? That is to do the complete chapter revision. And secondly, we are going to be looking at today MCQ-based question from this particular chapter. So today's Menti quiz will be oriented on you becoming more comfortable with the chapter and how to answer questions from the chapter. But later on, next what we're going to take up are the subjective questions, the PYQs, and we'll go into greater details, right? And in today's MCQs, right, what I'm going to do is some of the MCQs today are not just going to be directed at you understanding how to solve objective based questions, but some of the important subjective questions also I have converted it into objective so that you are able to understand. Yes? So I hope all of you here are excited for today's class. Now, of course, I can see that a lot of you here are very regular, and I know that a lot of you here come to the class regularly. But for those of you who are very new to our channel and you wonder what really happens, well, every day at 7 p.m. you have classes in SHIKAR. That means that SHIKAR is an ongoing series for your academic classes. And of course, today is for social science, tomorrow is for biology. That means you're going to be seeing me today and tomorrow at 7 p.m. Yes? And along with that, we have a lot of level up classes for you coming at 8 p.m. also. So in case if you want to go ahead, please take a screenshot of this. I will step aside so that you can take a screenshot. But of course, for students who are very new, this is for you. But for those of you who've been very regular, you know that this is what we would do, right? Now, of course, if you've come directly for today's revision class, this is just to let you know that I have done detailed concept sessions, where first I have taken up the basic understanding of what is a resource, how transformation of resources can happen, and resource planning, followed by which I did an entire session on just land utilization, land degradation and conservation, and the last session on types of soil, soil erosion and conservation. Now, of course, the links of this video will be available to you. I'll ask the team to pin it in the comments of this video so that you can access in-depth conceptual explanation. But today I'm only going to revise it. So today is only going to be summary. So first 15 minutes maximum I will take to summarize all the topics. And of course I will make sure that the next 15 to 20 minutes we will do 15 questions together. Yes? So are you all ready? Are you all ready today? My aim is 30 to 40 minutes. You are thorough with this chapter. That is my aim. And for that I need you all to cooperate as well, right? So to avoid having unnecessary spam. Avoid, making sure that, you're randomly asking questions which are not related, right? I need all of you also to be in the Josh. Yes? Okay, all right. Now, of course, I can see that a lot of you are here. Nationalism in India, I might not be able to teach you because I mainly teach geography and economics on the channel, right? So, Ankita ma'am will be teaching that. Okay. My problem is I know concepts but I'm not able to answer. Shivanshu, and to many students you face this problem that you know concepts but you don't know how to answer. That is why I am here. This whole year you trust me, you believe in me. I will make sure that you learn how to answer questions also. Yes? Alright. You will get session PDF as well. Okay? So everybody, this is a quick mind map for all of you for this particular chapter where we talk about resource and what is a resource. So we first started off with talking about what is a resource, basic understanding on classification of resources and resource planning in India, right? So this right here is very, very important. Now, of course, following that, we learned about how land is a resource and we spoke about land utilization where we learned all the terms like net zone area, land not available for cultivation. We've learned about other uncultivated land, fallow land and all of that, right? Then, of course, we learned about how there is land degradation and how, of course, there is land conservation. Then, of course, moving on, we learned about soil, we learnt about classification of soil, and this is the part that scares you the most, ma'am. How am I going to remember all this? So this is for all of you not to get worried, but it's going to be easy. Thought this is CBSE class. And then of course we have soil, and of course moving on to soil erosion, where we spoke about what is soil erosion, the types of soil erosion, and of course we have causes and the remedies of it. Yes, so these is a broad mind map. Everybody, I request you to take a quick screenshot of this. Even for students watching this video much later, you can take a quick screenshot. Yes, okay, everybody, let me know. Now very quickly, this is a live class, and of course I had a comment which I missed, right? I think I missed a comment. Either ways, okay, very good. We will do PYQs. I'll convey this to Ankita ma'am. Don't worry, Anish. I will convey it to Ankita ma'am. Okay. All right. So Menti will be after I finish a quick 15-minute revision. So in 15 minutes, I'm going to quickly teach you this chapter once again, where I cover the broad pointers. So please have your textbooks open with you and your pencil so that you can put a star mark into whatever I tell you. Hi Sahej, hello, welcome to the class. Moving on, right? So we started this particular chapter with talking about what are resources. So we know that resources is everything which is present in our environment that can be utilized by us, which can be technologically accessible, economically feasible, and that can be culturally acceptable. This is very, very important. And we know that resources can be broadly classified in various ways. Now, this is not something that you need to know in greater detail. It's just for your broad understanding. It can be classified based on origin, where you have biotic and abiotic resources. You have status of development, where you have potential resource, developed, stock, reserved resource. Then you have based on ownership, which is based on individual, community, national and international. Then you have based on exhaustibility, which is renewable resources, and you have non-renewable resources. Yes, it will mainly not come in boards, yes, but you just need to go through it. It's as simple as that. Yes. Now, of course, when we talk about resources in general, we know that resources are needed by us to carry out various activities, and over a period of time, right, we see that there has been an over-exploitation of resources and there has been degradation of resources. Now we see that the degradation of resources has mainly happened because of indiscriminate usage. That means that people have not used it wisely. And what have they done? We see that there is increase in the rate of depletion of resource because of overconsumption. We know that there is accumulation of resources in the hands of few people. It is not equally distributed, but rather it is distributed unequally amongst rich and poor. And then of course over a period of time it has resulted in ecological damage, like leading to your global warming, your all your environmental pollution, degradation, so on and so forth. Yes, and of course we know that over a period of time there is a need for sustainable development, right? So sustainable development is one wherein we see that we aim towards using resources wisely such that it is available for the future generation as well. So how can we move towards it? By looking at resource planning, right? So now of course when we talk about resource planning is very, very important in your textbook. Please put a star mark, right? Star mark near your resource planning, because this can come even for 3 marks, okay? So please be careful with this particular topic. Now, why is resource planning necessary, especially for a country like India, right? Why is it necessary that we look at something called as resource planning? So first and foremost, we see that in a country like India, which has different physical features, we see that are the resources, are the resources that are there, are they distributed equally or are they distributed unequally? We know that resources are not distributed equally, right? But rather due to the physical features, they are distributed unequally. So we see that there are different resources which are present in different parts. So for example, in your Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand region, you have a lot of minerals, right? Like your iron ore and everything, which is very rich in that part. But you move closer towards the Rajasthan side, we see that, you can utilize solar energy really well there. But you know that your water resources are not very abundant in the case of your Rajasthan region. And then if I move towards Ladakh and everything, we see that they have, the infrastructure is not there, but they are rich in various other other resources as well, right? So we see that distribution is unequal, which is why we need to find a way to plan resources. Now how do I do that? By identifying where all in my country do I find my resource and quantify it and identify the quality. Yes, then of course we develop a plan so that we can utilize them wisely and see that if I have the proper technology, if people are skilled enough to use it. Yes, and then of course to make sure that whatever plan I make should not be my own plan of development, but it aligns with the nation's development as well, right? So this is what we understand as resource planning. Yes, easy peasy. Then of course we know that this resource planning has come into the picture because of course over a period of time, especially in colonized countries like India and Africa, there has been an exploitation of resources, right? And of course we see that there needed to be technological development in order to use them. Yes, which is why this right here, because even though India experienced colonization, the fact that we were able to utilize the technology was a building factor for us. Yes. Now, of course, we know that there needs to be conservation of resources, right? We need to conserve resources because like an overexploitation is not going to take us anywhere. So, sustainable development is the way to go. Now, quickly moving on to talking about land and soil as a resource, right? So, when you talk about land as a resource, we know that land is very important because it supports natural vegetation, transport, communication system, so on and so forth, right? Now, when you talk about land, we know that in land also we see that there are, plains, there is mountain, there is, plateau region, different kinds that are there. Yes, but we know that land is utilized differently, where we have forest, land not available for cultivation, other land, fallow land and net sown area. Yes, so these are the broad ways in which land is utilized, and I'm not going into technicalities of it, but we know that in land, which in forest, we know that 33%. Ideally, there should be 33% of forest cover, but in India, it's slightly under that, right? And we know that a lot of people depend on forest because a lot of resources are available from the forest, right? So, which is why we see that forests are very, very important to us. Next, we have land which is not available for cultivation. Yes, wherein we see that if it is not used for cultivation or agriculture, I will either use it for building something or it will be wasteland which I can't really repurpose. Yes, so that is what we mean by it. Then we have fallow land wherein we would have used that land to do some agriculture, but for now I have left it uncultivated for a certain period of time, right? So based on that we have current fallow and other than current fallow. Yes. Then of course we have other uncultivated land. Excluding your fallow land, you have various kinds where we have permanent pastures, you have land under miscellaneous tree and crop groves, and of course you have cultivable wastelands. And last but not the least, we have net sown area, which is basically the physical extent up to which you grow crops, right? So this is what we mean by this. Now before I go ahead, right, see I told you it was a quick revision that I'm doing. I'm not going too much in detail. Menti to abhi 5 minute mein hoga. But so far any doubts students? Any doubts? Because I can see some questions coming my way. Ma'am, say something about sustainable development. Sustainable development is basically the kind of development where you use your resources wisely such that the resources are available for the future. And in this it needs to be kept in mind while we do resource planning. What is barren? Barren land is wasteland where you can't do any, what do you say? Barren land is basically any wasteland that is there, right? Where you don't really practice agriculture. Ma'am, net sown area. See, I can't, the details of it will be very difficult for me to go in. I'm not teaching right now. I am revising, right? Rio de Janeiro conference mein basically they all came together. They spoke about the need of sustainable development, right? And they spoke about certain policies, so you can put a star mark next to that. Difference between land and soil. Land is basically the whole area that is covered, right? Now soil is a part of your land that is there. Yes, simple as that. Fallow land is basically if I have a piece of land, right? And if in this piece of land I don't do any agriculture, I can do, but I am not doing. And for some amount of time I leave it as it is. This right here is my fallow land. Now if I leave it less than 1 year, it will be current fallow. If it is between 1 to 5 years, it will be other than current fallow. And what is gross crop area, slightly different from your net sown area. Net sown area is physical extent of land that I grow my crops once, right? So if I grow my rice in a certain area of land once, that comes under my net sown area. But if I use that area, or if I grow 2-3 crops in that same piece of land, it will not come in net sown area, but it will come under gross cropped area, right? Okay. Yes, map soon. Okay. All right. More than 5 years is barren or wasteland. No, more than 5 years is culturable wasteland. Okay, that will be more than 5 years. Okay, moving on very quickly. Important questions that are going to come is from this part. Causes of land degradation. They will not ask you to sit and explain net sown area, gross cropped area and all. They may ask you for MCQ based questions. But your detailed questions, your 5 markers, your 3 markers, all of that is going to come from sustainable development. They'll ask you like an inference based, right? So when we discussed indiscriminate usage and resource planning, you need to star mark that. You will get for long answer question. Similarly, causes of land degradation. What causes land degradation? Your over irrigation, mining, grazing, industrial effluents, all of these things become very, very important, right? You don't need to memorize percentages. You need to have a rough understanding, right? So this right here is also going to be very important because this can come for 3 or 5 marks, and this can even come for your case-based questions also. Yes? Then of course land conservation is very important, where if your land is getting degraded, how do I conserve it? So we see that we can do afforestation. We see that in mineral rich regions, I can make sure that proper activities are done to keep it in check, making sure that I dispose my waste properly and control overgrazing, right? And then of course in arid regions, we plant shelter beds and we grow thorny bushes in order to protect it from your sand dunes. Yes? So why is resource planning necessary, Sandhya? For proper utilization of your resources, right? So to use your resources wisely and you don't overexploit it and you make the best usage of resource, you need to plan your resources well, right? Yes. Shivanshu and Bacha, I'm just revising. No, that's why I'm picking up the pace, because I will teach you all this once again and I have the questions also. So don't worry about it. Yes? Okay. Now, of course, we will move to soil as a resource, right? See, I know I'm a little bit fast, but I'm going to repeat this once again when I do the questions. So don't worry. Don't worry if you're thinking that, ma'am, you are too fast, I am not able to follow. I will repeat it so many times that it will be ingrained in your brain after one point, right? So you have nothing to worry about. I just need little trust from you that, okay, Aishwarya has got me covered, right? Yes. Shrishan, I will do this. Once I finish teaching, I will take that question. Very good question, right? Now, soil as a resource, we know it is very, very important, right? We know it's an important natural resource, supports a lot of living organisms on earth, and we know that it takes a lot of years to form, and there are various factors that is there which is responsible for various factors which are responsible for the formation of soil, like parent rock, climate, altitude or slope, vegetation, time, so on and so forth, right? Then of course for map work, you will get types of soil in India where you will be given for identification. What do you mean by identification? Tell me in the live chat right now. If it comes for identification, what does it mean? I need to make sure that all of you know what I am telling you, right? What do we mean by it? When I say identification, pehchan, to plot on map, no. See, they will ask you that, oh, there is one part. You need to identify which soil distribution that is there. They will not ask you to mark it on the map. You just need to locate, like they will not ask you to locate and do it on the map. They will give it to you and you have to identify, right? So normally your MCQ based questions can come from this also, where in your 1 marker they will give you the map and they can ask you to identify. They can do this in section F also, where they will ask you to identify. So both things will be there. Marked area will come, you have to identify. Yes? So now of course we have types of soil. Now when you are studying types of soil, right? Please make a table, right? Please make a table so that you have characteristics on one end, you see you have fertility on one end, and you have location on the other end. right? Now I told you that it's always easy to have some tips and tricks. So if you want to know tips and tricks of the map session, please I request you to go to watch that particular part where I've done types of soil. I've gone in great detail, right? I've gone in great detail and I've made sure that I have done this. But from types of soil, one more thing that they can ask you, is that they can ask you objective questions where they will give you some characteristics. For example, we can say that this particular soil is made up of fine clay material and it has high capacity to hold moisture. Which soil is this, right? So they will ask you this kind of a question also for MCQ base. So your understanding of characteristics of soil is also very important, right? So this right here, everybody take a screenshot, make a table by yourselves also. This is going to come handy, right? So in alluvial soil, we know that it has, clay, silt, sand. Two types of alluvial soil is there where you have Bangar and Khadar soil. Then we know that it's extremely fertile, normally found in the northern plains region. Black soil is having high capacity to hold moisture and extremely fine clay material and rich in lot of nutrients, mainly found in the Deccan Plateau region like Maharashtra, Karnataka, so on and so forth. Now next side we have red soil, which is red and yellow soil, and your laterite soil. Your red soil basically has that reddish color because it has a lot of iron content in it, right? And we know that normally in parts of Odisha, Chhattisgarh, mainly think about iron content means always remember Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Jharkhand, right? You will find your, you can think about it in that way. Then you have laterite soil, which is formed due to leaching, yes, and we know that it is found, it is rich in humus, and we know that in some areas it is poor, right, and found in some parts of northeast regions and West Bengal. Then you have last two, which is arid and forest soil. Arid soil found in Rajasthan region, your Thar desert, keep that in mind. Then forest soil you have soil texture which is loamy, and then of course we see that it's found in the lower parts, right? So mainly in your mountain regions. Leaching is basically when there is action of water which happens during the formation that leads to, the kind of the chemical composition changes. It becomes very alkaline and everything, right? So that is what we mean by this, yes? Then of course we have soil erosion, which is the denudation of the top layer or the removal of the top layer of the soil. We have gully erosion, we have sheet erosion, and we know that protection can be done by contour barriers and terrace farming. We can also do it by strip cropping and forming shelter belts, right? So everybody, very, very simple and easily, right? In about 23 minutes, we have revised this particular chapter, right? We have all revised our chapter on soil, resource and development. Quick revision, right? Now I'm not telling you that in one go at one time you will understand everything in this chapter, okay? Please listen to me for 1 minute. Geography and social sciences in general is not going to be something that you will see. There are going to be topics that you will not understand. You will learn it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and you might still not understand, which means that for those topics you need multiple practices. And here at BYJU'S we are going to provide you that multiple practices, right? Which is why all I need you all to do is to trust us, okay? Trust us, believe us. If your seniors are here, they will tell you. In 3 months, we helped them, we held their hand, made sure that they understand everything, right? So if we are starting right from the beginning for all of you, that means that we've got you covered and you guys are going to do well. But you need to trust yourself. Don't get demotivated telling me that, ma'am, I did not do this, I am not able to, I don't think I'm going to do well in my board exams. I know that it's scary, okay, that it's a very big milestone in your life and it's very scary. But of course, at the same time, right, all I need you to believe is to tell yourself that no, I have my teachers with me, I have me who I believe in, right, and I know that I will be able to do well. So just take a minute to understand that you've got this, guys, you are going to do well and you need to just believe in it, right? So all you need to do is to, in this note, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like this video because you know that we've got you covered, and I will be doing development chapter very soon, so don't worry about it, yes? So everybody, moving on, right? Next, hopefully the next half an hour I wind up, right? So we're going to have 15 questions in Menti. So everybody go to www.menti.com, okay? Open a browser in Chrome and you have to minimize your YouTube and go to www.menti.com and swap the code and type the code, which is 839445. I'm going to be on the screen for 2 minutes so that everybody can watch this one. Yes, your most awaited moment, Menti is here. But I will only switch to Menti if all of you have hit the like button on this video. I can see good number of students who are watching this video live, and I request all of you to please make sure that you show us your love by liking this video and hitting the subscribe button on the channel, because more such revision classes are going to be coming your way, so this is going to definitely help you. I have 170 students watching this live and I have only 86, likes on this video. I feel very bad. Are you guys so bored in my class that you're not hitting the like button? Is that so? I'm just kidding, okay. Ma'am, do long kinds of questions come from types of soil? They may ask you 3-marker questions. They may ask you to describe characteristics, but from what I've noticed, normally all this alluvial soil, black soil only comes. 3-marker questions can come from that, right? Jitanshi, don't be. You'll have a lot of fun, right? Okay, everybody, quickly hit the like button. I need to have at least 150 likes on this video, and then only I'm going to move into Menti. And I'm also just staying on the screen so that everybody will be able to, join Menti. Yes? Ma'am, कैसे जाऊँ? एक और tab खोलिए, उस पे www.menti.com. Oh, I don't think you're able to see. Oh, they're not able to see, right? I think because it's hyperlinked. Yes. Competency questions we will do. See, I will tell you my personal understanding of social sciences. Especially with geography and economics, I can speak this, but I always don't by heart and I learn, right? I think in my lower grades, I've done it at some point. I'm not going to lie to you, but there's no point by hearting and learning. For me, I make a lot of visual connects, right? So when I teach you mineral and resources and all, you will get to know. I make a lot of visual connects. Things like you have hematite ore, hematite is found in, you make interesting connects and you learn. You make it easy and fun. Don't memorize, because there's no point memorizing, right? Ma'am, last year mark distribution was given by CBSE. This year also it is given. I think Ankita ma'am discussed the syllabus. It should be given. Okay, let's start. Yes, of course, I can see 100. Jaldi, fatafat, hit the like button on this video. I'm just waiting so that, can I switch the screen? Yes, okay. All right, everybody. Okay. मैम मैंने एक क्वेश्चन पूछा था, आप एक्सप्लेन कीजिए. हाँ जरूर. सॉरी श्रेयांश, आई मिस दैट पार्ट. थैंक यू फॉर रिमाइंडिंग मी. श्री शेषन, ओके सॉरी माय बैड. श्री शेषन, resources are free gifts of nature. Explain. Resources are gifts of nature. You see, that will be mostly like a either justify question or what you think of it. It will be an opinion based question. If we assume that they are gifts of nature and you constantly keep utilizing them, then of course it is going to be very difficult for us, because that's when we over exploit, right? They are gifts of nature, which is why we need to use them wisely. Nature is not making wind, water, air for us so that we utilize it for our benefit. Nature is making it so that all living organisms can survive. But here humans are using it indiscriminately, which is why we need to take it as a gift. That's something that we are taking it from nature, respect it and use it sustainably, right? So that is something that we will have to keep in mind. Yes, Menti has started. I can see 197 players are here. Can we switch the screen? Yes. So shall we get started? I think it's almost time. So let me just get my pen ready with me. Are we all ready? Okay, so question number 1, everybody, on your screens now. Kiran, I would have missed your question, that's all. A resource can be defined as anything which is what? Which is technologically accessible only, which is technologically accessible and economically feasible only. Is it only culturally acceptable, or is it something which is technologically accessible, economically feasible and culturally acceptable? Yes? Alright, everybody has voted and many of you got the answer correctly. What is a resource? Resource is something which is of our benefit, right? Something that we use for our benefit or which can be used, which is usable, but it needs to be technologically accessible, it needs to be culturally feasible, and it needs to, economically feasible and culturally acceptable. All three needs to be there. Only then we say that it is a resource, right? So quickly moving on to question number 2. There are 15 questions, Jitanshi, 15 are there. So quickly moving on to the next question on your screen, leaderboard after 5 questions. Which among the following statements is incorrect with respect to indiscriminate usage of resource? Pay attention, right? You have 30 seconds. Read the statements properly. We're talking about which is incorrect. Okay, whichever is incorrect with respect to usage of resource. Actually, this is very easy. Very good, all of you, very good. Now here we're talking about indiscriminate, that means not proper usage of resource, right? Which means that we know that resources are over exhausted to satisfy the greed of some people, which means that there is indiscriminate or unequal distribution between rich and poor, right? We know that the poor have more access, the rich have more access to the resources than the poor, and we know that indiscriminate usage of resources has led to exploitation, right? It has led to exploitation, eventually leading to a lot of global crisis. But equitable distribution of resources not as a result of indiscriminate usage, right? So that is incorrect. So everybody, please make sure that all of you read the options. Now you will not be able to read it on YouTube, which is why you will have to go to menti.com and type in the code, right? Easy peasy. Now let's move on to question number 3, everybody. Pay attention to the questions, right? Ma'am, can you explain the last option? Indiscriminate distribution of resources across communities. Basically, it's an indirect way of saying rich and poor, right? I have not directly said that there is indiscriminate distribution across communities. I've just, I've twisted it and I've just used the term community instead of rich and poor, right? It's as simple as that. Now, moving on to question number 3, everybody. So, everybody, question number 3 on your screens now. Question here is, which of the following is essential for sustainable development of resource? Okay, should I do resource management? Should I do resource planning? Should I do resource extraction, or should I do resource generation? I know that in YouTube it is not evident. See, that is again Menti glitch. I can't do anything but just, I don't know what to do about Menti having SHOP2 font. Very good, everybody, very good. We know that in order for sustainable development of resources, what is sustainable development? Development of resources in such a way that I am able to use resources wisely, that it is also available for my future generation. I am not over exhausting my resources such that they are not able to use it in the future, right? So here I am able to see that I have sustainably developed it. But how will I be able to do that? Only if I plan well. So I have to do resource planning, right? So that is the correct answer. Now moving on to question number 4, everybody. Question number 4 on your screens now. Very good, Lakshmi Priya. Namira, option D of the previous one. This is an assertion reason question. Assertion reason, very, very important question. Assertion statement says that resource planning is widely accepted strategy for a judicious distribution of resources, especially in a country like India. Reason being that distribution of resources is unequal across the region. Alright, I can see most of you here have got the answer. But like I said, no, this is very, very important. Here, I will just correct this. Alright, I can see everybody has voted. Very good, right? So now, of course, here, yes, AV, I was coming to that. How do you tackle an assertion reason question? Yes, assertion reason questions are not going to be something that is only going to come in social science. It is going to be there in maths, it's going to be there in science also, which means that in your major subjects you have assertion reason. Now, does it mean that assertion reason, I think students who have attended my class earlier, in my lower grades, I am sure that most of you will be able to answer. But if you are very new, right, I'll tell you, there's a simple trick. Now, assertion statement can be simply defined as a statement, which is, it's a statement, yes? Now, here let's assume that something is given. It says that resource planning is necessary for a country like India for judicious usage. So, first thing you need to do, your step number 1 is to assess if the assertion statement here is true or false. That is step number 1. Now your step number 2 is to look at the reason statement. Now reason here, so I said that in India there is unequal distribution of resource. You have to do true or false. Tackle it step by step, okay? Now you have step number 3. Now your step number 3 will decide whether it is what is the correct option, right? Now here, step number 3 comes if only both A and R are true, right? If A is true, R is true, you come to step number 3 to figure out if this is the correct reason. Now how do you know if it is the correct reason? After the assertion statement, put a why, right? Ask yourself why. Resource planning is necessary for a country like India. Why? Because we know that there is unequal distribution. Easy peasy. So now you need to come to step number 3 only if your statement 1 and 2 are true. But if 1 is false or your reason is false, this will eliminate these two, leaving you with your last 2 options, right? So it's very simple and easy. Yes? Are we all clear? Shall we move on to question number 5? Yes? Everybody, are we all clear? Ma'am, are Menti or class साथ में कैसे करें? I think you'll have to open 2 tabs, right? You'll have to open 2 tabs. Assertion reason very easy, I'm telling you. The more and more you keep doing, it becomes super simple. That's how I was. Not like I found it very easy the first go. I also struggled a lot. Moving on, everyone. Let's move on to question number 5. Yes? Which among the following is not a step in resource planning? Everybody, you have 45 seconds. Read A, B, C, D. Now identify which among the following is not a step in resource planning. This is actually very easy. See, if you are finding all of this easy, that means that you know the topics. Everybody took so long to vote. Very good, all of you, very good. Correct answer here is option D, right? So now we know that in the case, right? So first 3 steps that are there, we know that they were all necessary for resource planning. But in the case, I forgot what was the last option, but we know that the incorrect answer is the last option that was there, right? So I completely forgot what was the last thing, but we know that step number 1 is identification. Step number 2 that is there is to make sure that you plan and you have the proper technology and skill, and step number 3 is to align it with the national goals, right? But we know that availability of resource, exactly, I remember option 4. Availability of resource alone is not enough. Availability of resource alone is not a factor. We need to have technology and we need to have skill to access resource, right? So that is why we know that prioritizing availability of resource over development is incorrect when it comes to resource planning. Thank you for reminding me. I tend to forget stuff. Okay, so with this we have our first leaderboard, right? So first set of leaderboard is here and let's see what it says. I can see Shakti is on top, followed by Rijuta. Then I can see Shruti is the fastest. Then I have Bhumit, Kashish, Jitanshi, Rudrangshu, Ashwika, Ishu and Sukrut who is on top. So everybody who wanted the leaderboard is right here for all of you. So how are all of you feeling? Now I can see a lot of you are saying 13th, 48th, 23rd, 121. Yes, 13th, 14th, amazing. Lot of good ranks coming my way. All of you are very happy. I'm very proud of all of you, right? See now, you have just answered 5 questions. We have 10 more questions to go. We're going to look at it a lot more in greater detail. So don't worry about it. Now in the meanwhile, if you are enjoying the class, all you need to do is to hit the subscribe button on this video and don't forget to like this video as well, right? So are we ready for the next set of questions? Are we pumped? Now I don't want you to feel bad that ma'am I'm 159, I'm 177. Don't feel bad, okay? Don't feel bad. Now if you are 179 now and in the next leaderboard you made it to 156 and after that you made it to 99, you have progressed, you have done really well, and this is what we need to focus on. Not being being number 1 is great and being on the leaderboard is great, but making progress with every step is also amazing, right? So are we ready? Are we pumped up for the next set of questions? Yes? Are we ready, everybody? Shall we get started for the next set of 5 questions before our next leaderboard, right? Awesome. I'm very proud of all of my students. Lots of love to all of you. Okay? Moving on to question number 6. Yes? Let's move on, everybody. Let's pick up the pace a little bit. Moving on to question number 6 on your screen now. Yes? Okay. So now of course, easy peasy. Physical extent of land in which we sow our crops is called as what? Current fallow land, other than current fallow, cultivable wasteland, or net sown area. We're talking about a land wherein we practice agriculture, the physical extent up to which we are, growing crops that are there. You all don't need me only. You all know the answer. I don't know why you are so scared of geography. Everybody's like, ma'am, so much is there. I can't do this. See, means you're doing really well in Menti. That means you know, right? Yes, very good, very good. Exactly. So here we know that this is nothing but net sown area. Now, what is current fallow land? If I leave it uncultivated for a certain period of time. So that means in all these 3 cases, there is no agriculture. I am leaving it uncultivated for a brief period of time. So in this case, if it is less than 1 year, we call it as current fallow land, right? But here, if it is other than our current fallow, that means it will be between 1 to 5 years where I have left it uncultivated. And if it is greater than 5 years, then it becomes a cultivable wasteland. Yes? Jitanshi, I will tell you after the next question. I will just give me 5 minutes, okay? Are we clear? Everybody, current fallow, other than current fallow, cultivable wasteland. Yes? Are we all clear? Okay. Very good. So please make a note of this in your textbooks also. With very simple math, you will be able to remember, right? Let's move on to the 7th question, right? To many people who have a doubt, this will be able to clarify it. Area sown more than once in an agricultural year plus net sown area is called as what, right? Fallow land, gross cropped area or cropped area, grazing land. What is it? Now you've got your answer. What is net sown area and what is this? Simple, you've got it. Easy peasy. It's gross cropped area. So what is gross cropped area? See, hi Anshul, welcome. I hope you're doing well, right? So I hope that you're doing well. So now see your gross cropped area. See, this is my land, okay? I would have sown some crops here once, okay, just one time. If I've done it only once, this will come in my net sown area. But if I use it more than once, okay, I do it 2-3 times, then I'll not consider it in net sown area, I'll consider it in gross cropped area. So are we all clear with the difference between net sown area and gross cropped area? Yes? Easy peasy, right? Fallow lands are lands where we leave it uncultivated for some time. Yes? That's why Jitanshi, I didn't answer that time. I knew there was a question based on this, so I didn't want to give the answer away. Then you will tell me, ma'am, aap to Lycosaurus ho, you are giving the answer, so I was holding myself back. So moving on to question number 8, everybody, on your screens right now. Let's have a look. Which among the following has contributed towards land degradation? You have 4 options, okay? 4 options and you need to identify the correct set. Understand that these are all sets of options which are available. Code is 839445. Yes? These are sets. I would have easily given you 4 options and identified, but now you need to read through each of it. Yes? Very good, everybody. Very, very good. Some of you were like, ma'am, I read the options wrong. It's okay. But now you know that you have to spend time, right? You need to spend some time reading the option, right? Reading the question statement very clearly. Yes? Now you have afforestation as an option. We know that afforestation does not contribute to land degradation. Then what is reforestation, right? Now, afforestation that is there is basically when you grow, when you allow for new set of plants or new set of trees to be grown. Reforestation is when you allow for the same plants to grow in it naturally, right? Yes, deforestation is when you cut them. Yes, it's as simple as that. So correct answer here is option B. Should not be tukka. Okay, you guys should be able to read the options. And only deforestation was there in one option. Everything else was other afforestation and deforestation. So you could have let go by that, right? Okay. Ma'am, how many crops are grown in net zone area? Only one. One type of crop, which, not one type, but that area has been utilized to grow crops once. That is the intent, right? Okay. All right, everybody. Okay, moving on to question number 9. Let's have a look. Let's see. Which among the following states is over-irrigated, or in which among the following states is over-irrigation one of the main reasons for land degradation, right? So Punjab, Rajasthan, Kerala or Jharkhand. Just give me 1 minute. Very good, all of you. Very, very good, right? So over irrigation is a leading cause of land degradation in places where we see that there's a lot of agriculture happening, right? So we see that in Punjab, normally Punjab, and especially in regions where there is a lot of, agricultural practices, we see that over irrigation leads towards land degradation, but not in Rajasthan, Kerala or Jharkhand. Okay, many of you still have doubts with afforestation and reforestation. So afforestation is basically to grow trees or to grow crops, to grow trees or plants in an area which probably earlier they did not really have crops, right? Or they did not crops where they really did not have plants before. But in reforestation, we see that it is in areas where you regrow. At some point there was forest cover, but you regrow it, right? So that is what we mean by it. Yes, Punjab, Haryana, UP mein over irrigation is the leading cause for land degradation. Yes? Okay. Let's move on to question number 10, everybody. Let's have a look at question number 10 on your screens now. Yes? So let's have a look. In which among the following states is mining one of the main reasons for land degradation? So you have Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Jharkhand, Rajasthan. Yes? Easy. This is also very, very easy. I always tell you. Very good, everybody. Most of you here have got the answer. I think I saw a question earlier which said pasture lands. See, pasture lands are lands which is used for grazing, right? Raghav, pasture lands are lands which we use for grazing your, cattle that is there. Very good, very good. Exactly. The correct answer here is Jharkhand. Sri Sheshan, don't be in a hurry to answer fast. Take your time. It's not about going, it's good to be on top, but trust the process also, right? Trust the process. Oh, thank you so much. So now we know Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, especially extensive mining happens because we know that there's a lot of rich minerals, right? So we see that in Jharkhand, and in the case of Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, we see that mining is the leading cause for land degradation. So let's have a look at the leaderboard. Yes, let's have a look at the leaderboard and see where everybody stands. Last 5 questions. We'll finish it off in the next 5 minutes. So I can see Shruti is on top and is the fastest, followed by Bhumit. I can see Rijuta, Radhika, Rudrangshu, Kashish, Sukrut, Ashwika, AV and Speedy who have made it to the top. Yes? Now everybody, I want all of you to tell me what was your rank before and what is your rank right now. Like how Preetika told me, ma'am, 170 and now 105. 24 to 13, 164 to 52, 121 to 115, 48 to 25. Amazing. How many of you are feeling very proud of yourselves, right? It's okay if you went wrong here and there, you would have made some mistakes and that's why maybe your rank changed a little bit. But are you feeling proud of yourselves that, ma'am, I actually progressed from my previous rank? It's giving you a moral boost on the inside, right? Now, I'm sure a lot of you are like, ma'am, I went ulta direction. I was 70, but now I am 100. It's okay. You would have gone wrong here and there. That does not mean that, ma'am, I have not done well or you have not done well. So it just means that there were some concepts that you were not very confident about, but it's okay, right? That's where you improve. This is just one among the many classes we are going to have. We have a long way to February. We still can do it. Just trust the process, right? Please trust the process. Yes? Very good, Jishna. Very good to many of you who are sharing your ranks with me. Very good. I'm very proud of all of you, right? Yes. And now you know where to focus more. That is the most important thing. With these kind of questions, you get to understand where you are good at and where you need some more, effort. Rather than reading the whole chapter 10,000 times, you focus on what you need to learn better, right? Smart learning. Yes? Okay. Alright, Khushbu, welcome to my class. I hope you are enjoying. And students, very quickly, before we get to the last set of questions, I hope all of you enjoyed today's class and I hope you've hit the like button on this video, right? So please make sure to hit the like button. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button on the channel as well, because we have a lot of interesting classes coming your way. So last set of questions, Riya, there are 3 types. You have water erosion, wherein you have gully and sheet. You have by wind and human factors, right? Okay, moving on to the last set of questions, which you will see right now. Question number 11, everybody, on your screen now. Read the following statements and identify the options which are correct with respect to land conservation. Okay, afforestation and proper management of grazing can help with land conservation. Planting shelter belts of plants is ineffective for land conservation. Controlling mining activities and proper disposal of industrial effluents can help with land conservation. Which options are correct? Everybody read it carefully, right? Read your options carefully. Very good. I can see most of you here have got the answer correctly, and I can see that yes, option number 2 said that planting shelter belts is ineffective, but that is not true. No, we know that planting shelter belts is actually effective for land conservation, especially when it comes to in arid areas and all that. This is very effective, which is why option 2 is actually correct. But in this case, the statement in option 2 is incorrect, which is why 1 and 3 are the correct answers, right? So let's move on to question number 12 on your screens now. So everybody, question number 12. Okay. Identify the soil type marked A from the image given below. Arid soil, laterite soil, mountain soil, alluvial soil. Your map also I have included. Okay. Map is also here. You need to identify the soil marked A. This is easy. Which region is being highlighted? Yes, I told you, today will be complete, revision. Very good, everybody, very good. It was alluvial soil. And I told you how to identify alluvial soil, right? If your northern plains are marked along with parts of your eastern Ghats giving you a 7-like number, then you know it is your alluvial soil, right? Easy peasy. Now let's move on to question number 12. Yes, 7 is the number to remember for alluvial soil. Alright. So now we'll move on to question number 13. Are we ready? So it is going to be another map-based question for all of you. Question number 13 on your screens now. Identify the soil type marked X from the image given below. Red and yellow soil, black soil, laterite soil, arid soil. Now here your area looks like an amoeba, right? It looks like an amoeba that is floating towards your western side, covering regions of Maharashtra, Karnataka, parts of Gujarat. Yes. Easy peasy answer. Everybody has voted. And this of course is nothing but black soil. I told you, right? Black soil that is there. It's a man with a cap. Yeah, it's a man with a cap. Somebody told me, ma'am, it was amoeba. That's why I remember amoeba. Yes. So see, these are map tricks that are there. No easy ways in which you don't need to remember this place or this, lines I have to draw. No. Learning like that, you will not remember anything. But the fact that I told you 7, it's stuck in your mind, right? So that's why in this case, you can come up with these easy ways. Not saying you have to use what I tell you, but you can also come up with your own innovative ways in which you remember identification. Yes? So let's move on to question number 13, everybody. Oh, question number 14 on your screens now. So let's have a look. So this right here is a match the following, okay? Just to revise our understanding about soils and types of soils. You have laterite, black, alluvial and arid soil. You have 1 minute to answer. No need to rush, okay? No hurry. Aram se, take pen, paper, match and then you go. Otherwise all of you are in such a hurry to be giving me the answer, no? It takes a while. Ma'am, area identification will come for certain chapters. In certain chapters, you will get for marking also. Minerals and energy resources, water resources chapter, you will get for marking on the map. It's very easy. It's very, very easy. Very good, all of you, very good. But what happened here? Some of you got confused. See, your laterite soil that is there is a soil which is formed by leaching, right? So I told you that it's highly alkaline and it's highly acidic, and we know that it's formed by the leaching of water. Now black soil is also has high clay material in them. We know that it's good for growing cotton. It's also known as cotton soil. We call it as regur soil. And then of course we know that high moisture retention is there, right? And we know that alluvial soil is found in northern plains, which is intensely cultivated. Then arid soil that is there has high salt content in it, right? It's formed by evaporation, so high salt content, which is why the correct answer here is option C. Yes. So for those of you who got confused, maybe made some errors here and there, I hope all of you have taken a screenshot and I hope that all of you are here, right? Ma'am, Menti or class साथ में कैसे करे बच्चा? You might have to switch screens and do it if you're doing it on your phone, right? So you might have to open on Google Chrome and do it. It might be little tough, but you answer on Menti so that you're live and you can play it. But when I do for explanation, you can come back, okay? Yes, very good. All right, is Menti finished? No, last question. I'll wind up very soon and I can see some more questions coming my way, which I will take very soon. Last question. All right. Which of the following is not a method of soil conservation? Okay. Terrace cultivation, contour plowing, gully erosion, planting shelter beds. Easy peasy, right? Easy peasy. Okay. Oh, I can see some old student of mine is here. Hi Adi, hope you've been doing well. I hope 11th grade is treating you well. Yes, very good. This is very easy. Of course, correct answer here is gully erosion. It's a way of soil degradation or soil erosion, right? Where we know that there are channels or gullies which are formed by water. But terrace cultivation, contour plowing and planting shelter belts, they are all ways in which we do soil conservation. So with this everybody, we've done a full chapter revision. Now on a scale of 1 to 10, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your confidence when it comes to this particular chapter, right? Are you feeling little confident than you were before the session where you told me, ma'am, I don't know how to answer, but now you are able to answer? Yes? See, that is what my aim is. No, my aim is not to come here and tell you that I know everything and I'll keep teaching you the same thing. But my way is to help you, take you step by step so that slowly you progress, right? Progress is a journey. Progress is not something that comes overnight. Success is not something that comes overnight. Success comes with practice, hard work, consistency and commitment, right? And it need not be a journey which you go alone. It's a journey that we go together. So you just need to trust me. You just need to believe in me. We will go over and over this chapter 10,000 times such that you will know everything, right? So you just need practice, and for that you need some confidence in yourself, right? Anita tells me, ma'am, 0. Don't say 0, bacha. It will be good only, okay? Very good, all of you, very good. Yes, assertion reason, we will do lot more questions. See, lot of questions and practice classes will come your way. We will do NCERT reading also for this particular chapter, because from this chapter I know that it will help you, right? So we will do NCERT reading. If you want NCERT reading let me know, like, do you want to do NCERT reading maybe at, later in the night, maybe on a Friday where, you've had a long days of work and you just want to do something simple. Let me know when you want to do NCERT reading, right? Sooner, maybe sometime later. Let me know in the comments of this video so that I can plan accordingly. Preferably in this week only I will try to do it. Else by next week we will try to, maybe plan the NCERT reading so that it definitely helps us. Yes? Let me know in the comments of this video, right? So with this, everybody, we are going to be coming to the last part, right? So let's have a look. Okay, sometimes timing matters. Okay, so Shruti has made it on top with 14,332 points. Then I have Radhika, Rudrangshu, Bhumit, Sukrut, Speedy, who is the fastest, Tapasya, I can say Shreyanshi, Nakshatra, and PB, who has made it to the top. So well done, all of you. Well done. I am super proud of all of you. Yes, and now I know that we've got you covered no matter what. So if you enjoyed today's class, I hope that you've hit the like button on this video and you've not forgotten to subscribe, and I will be seeing you soon. So again, NCERT reading, if that is something that you want, let me know in the comments of this video, right? But make sure that if you enjoyed today's class, you let me know in the comments of this video as well. And at this moment, the reference book that you need to see is not external references, just believe NCERT, right? Yes. Tarika says, ma'am, I will not believe in trust, but first time on you, I trust you. That's all I need, Tarika, your trust. And I will safeguard it and take care of it, and I will help you, right? Okay, Khushbu, reference books first, focus on NCERT only, then after that, everything else. But now I'll be signing off because we have a class, but I will see you all soon. But up until then, everybody, take care, lots of love, and bye-bye.